Hi, my beautiful hedgehogs. Welcome back to another video from us. Who are we? 2025. We are hitting you with a vengeance. For those of you who might be new here, I am Teddy, the resident email marketing ninja and data nerd here at Hedgehog. So it's a fair assumption when you see a video that has me in it that it's likely to be about one of those two topics. And in no surprise to anyone, what we're talking about today is email automations, one of my favorites. So I'm going to run through Shopify today, and I'm also going to show you the templates that Shopify have on offer. So Shopify, along with most other email marketing platforms, if they're worth their weight in salt, should have built-in templates that you can use as a starting point or just to really help you build what you're trying to do with email automation. So I'm going to show you that because that is the simplest way to do it. If you want to do anything outside of the templates, that might be a little advanced video that I do later down the line. But for now, let's start with simple templated email automations. So I'm in Shopify. You need the Flow plugin for this to work. So if you don't have that, just jump into the App Store and install that really quickly. You also need the email plugin installed as well. So I think that one should be installed as like a non-negotiable because it's what Shopify needs to send your order confirmations and all that sort of stuff. So that should be installed, but just double check. Shopify within this process will actually just flag that to you if it's missing. So if this is your first time using Flow, there will likely be no workflows in here. However, if we do uncover anything that you don't recognize that is active, maybe just have a quick check. Make sure nothing weird's being sent to your customer base. It should be fine, but sometimes Shopify likes to take some liberties and turn stuff on that you don't know about. So we're going to jump into create workflow. So what that'll do is it will take you to this screen where you start building. So like I said before, there are some beautiful templates that Shopify have on offer. So that's what we're going to use. So we're going to hit browse templates, and then that's going to chuck us into all of the templates that it has available. So if you're an e-com store, have a look into abandoned checkout, abandoned cart, and abandoned browse. So I know they all sound like the same thing, but they are not. They are all slightly different. So if you run an e-com store and you don't have any of those three operating, I suggest that you look at the very minimum to have a abandoned cart up and running. So that's not what I'm going to run through today. What I'm going to run through today is a welcome flow. So I'm going to use this built-in template, and it is going to chuck us to the next screen where it's going to basically lay out that template for us. So you can see the welcome flow has set up here. So it's really basic. It checks that they're subscribed. It checks that they didn't subscribe during checkout, because obviously if they subscribe during checkout, a little bit of a different thing needs to happen first. And then it sends the marketing email. So it'll lay this out for you just to make sure that you're happy. It will also tell you what apps you need. So like I said before, we need the email app for this to work. So you can see it's already installed. So happy days. If it's not, it will allow you to do so in this process, which is great. Shopify will generally not allow you to do anything if you don't have everything in place. So once you're ready to jump into the next stage, you hit install. So then what that is going to do is it's going to allow you to edit this flow. So sometimes when you're creating these for the first time, Shopify can take a hot second, as you can see. So now it is ready to edit. So you can see also it will come up with lovely prompts just to remind you, hey, this is the elements that you need to review and edit. So obviously it's put a marketing email in here, but you need to do some finessing before it's ready to send. So this has set up a really basic one email welcome flow, which is absolutely fine if you don't want to get into any more depth. However, if you did want to kind of send them down a little bit more of a journey with you, absolutely you can do so. So It's great if you're an e-com website to obviously start this with an incentive. So it can be a welcome offer like 10%, 15%, 20%. We've all seen them out there. So that's typically what the first email is. And then they can be as long as or as short as you want. I find a sweet spot is around 3 to 4 emails. So generally what that can look like really depends on what information you have at your disposal. So it can be information about your products, it can be information about your services, it can be information about particular ingredients if you have a food or supplement product. The sky is the limit when it comes to this. So to do that, technically what you do is you add more conditions. So you hit the plus next to then and your action. And then what we want to do once Shopify has its lovely thought, okay, we're going to then go into flow and then we're going to go wait. So what this is going to do is it's going to set a time delay. So obviously we don't want to bombard them with 3 emails 1 second after each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this to days and then we're going to change it to 4 days. So again, this is very subjective. I find that the wait times, the sweet spot is between 4 to 7 days, depending on your audience and the product you have on offer. So start with a lower day count, and then if you're finding that your unsubscribe rate or your bounce rate or your abuse rate is getting a little bit high, then look to potentially spread this out a little bit more. So we're going to leave that as that. We're going to close out of it. You can see now that it's sitting there. And then we're going to add another action. And in this instance, after the delay, the next action is email. So send a marketing email. So what this is going to do is it's just going to pull through a really basic template. A really basic skeleton. Then you again have to review it, assign a template. And so you can continue that process until you have enough emails that you are happy with. So again, I'm not going to turn on this workflow, but once you are finished, it's as simple as literally clicking turn on workflow. So until you do that, it will automatically save and it will remain in draft state. So no worries about it accidentally turning itself on. That will not happen. It will sit in draft until you are ready. So that is as difficult as it is to create the physical technical elements of email automation. Obviously there's a little bit more to it in terms of creative execution and all that jazz, but today I just wanted to talk about the technical implementation of such a beast. So I encourage you, if you have any kind of database set up that you're not actively welcoming in this way, to reconsider and to set something like this up, just because it helps engagement, it helps customers think about you in the first instance. It's just, there's so many reasons. I could literally go on and on and on. Please don't make me, but I will if you insist. So email automations, definitely consider a welcome flow, and also consider e-com flows if that is what you are rolling with. So hopefully that all makes sense, and happy automating.